Have you been procrastinating on filing your taxes? Well, at the end of this video, you should understand what protections come from early filing. And this article was written by Kate Dorr, who's an enrolled agent who definitely understands taxes in this time of the year. That being said, let's dive straight in. So don't wait to file your taxes this season, experts say, and here is why. Number one, nearly 33% of Americans procrastinate filing their taxes, according to a survey from a real estate company. But if you have all the necessary tax documents, these are key reasons to file your return properly, experts say. And the emphasis is on have all of the documents, because so many times people file prematurely and they don't have all of their documents. And if you don't have all of your documents, you will indeed leave money on the table. It's just a fact. I see it all the time. They file with their last pay stub of the year. They file and they just ready to go ahead and get that cash advance that comes from filing your taxes if you want to get your money early. And then they do themselves a disservice due to the fact that they didn't have all of their documents, and then their cash advance might not be as much as what they actually receive if there are any adjustments. And on top of that, sometimes they realize they could have gotten more had they done XYZ. So having all of your documents is key. So whether you're expecting a refund or a balance due this tax season, there is a key reason to file your return promptly, experts say. So let's keep going. And it says this alters tax-related identity theft. So nearly 33% of Americans procrastinate on filing their taxes, according to the survey. And this basically was polled by 1,000 residents, or U.S. residents, in January. So if you have all your documents, get their returns submitted. So tax identity theft remains a serious problem. So basically, with you filing delayed, there's a risk of tax identity theft. Now, I'm not the one to try to fear-monger you into filing your taxes. However, if you have not filed your taxes and you need access to some experts that can help you maximize your refund legally, but also position you to not get overcharged with all of these unnecessary fees, then there's a link in the description to get you plugged into the experts. And I think you'll, be grateful and benefit from it on an every year basis. But one key reason to file your return early is to avoid tax identity theft. By filing sooner, you can block thieves from using your SSN to file a fraudulent return. Because if your social security number is used, then a lot of times it looks as though you already filed. And that's a, lose-lose situation. I've had that happen, not myself, but just witnessed it with someone else. And they were like, I didn't file. And come to find out, somebody had used their social security number or use their child's social security number. So it is a big deal. Tax-related identity theft continues to be a serious problem, with many victims facing processing and refund delays, because it will delay a refund if that happens. At the end of fiscal year 2024, the average processing time to resolve identity theft victim assistance cases was more than 22 months, up from 19 months the previous year. So that's not something you want to deal with, especially when it comes to filing your taxes, if you're expecting a refund, etc. For the 2024 filing season, the IRS confirmed more than 15,600 identity theft returns through February 29, 2024, and that was up from 12,600 in 2023, according to the Treasury report issued on April 30. Now, this is where it's important to have a tax expert working on your tax filing, unless you understand how to do it yourself. What do they mean when they say measure twice and cut once? That means be certain, be sure, double check, triple check to make sure that everything is correct before you submit. So whether you're filing early because you're eager for a refund or want to protect yourself from identity theft, you still need a complete and accurate return to avoid delays. While many tax forms come in January, others won't arrive until mid-February to March or longer, according to the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. But once you have the necessary forms, don't be in a hurry to press send. So basically, double check, triple check. You should always double check key details like your name, social security number, banking information, and other filing data. I've seen where people put in the wrong banking information, and as a result, they had a delay just off of a simple number being off. So pay close attention to the details that may seem so simple but can have a profound effect. So when it comes to return accuracy, aim to measure twice and cut once. With thousands of IRS layoffs this week, some experts won't worry that cuts could impact taxpayer service. I did a video on that. I beg to differ, but you let me know what you think. Do you think the employees being cut will have an effect? Keep in mind, these employees were recently hired that were still in their probationary period, and they still have more employees than they had prior to the big increase of IRS people that were hired recently, and I was wondering why they were hiring so many. So they just cut some of those people back. But you let me know what your thoughts are below. But your refund shouldn't be affected if you file an accurate return electronically and select direct deposit for payment. Typically, you can expect the IRS to process your e-file return within 21 days. I've had people that say, look, I got mine in 30 days. So it varies based on certain situations, especially if you have different credits, like the earned income tax credit or the additional child tax credit. Those things run the they qualify for what's known as the PATH Act. And basically the PATH Act can cause delays because they're trying to confirm that this is an accurate credit being filed. So 21 days is the average, but it varies and can take longer. Now, they would expect business as usual and shouldn't issue, any issues with the timeline layouts, and that's how I feel about it as well. But this is what you got to understand. When it comes to filing your taxes and waiting towards the end, you don't want to get caught up in the rush either, because towards the end of tax season, when you're gearing towards April 15th, so that could be the end of March, that could be the beginning of April. It's a lot of people trying to squeeze in their tax returns before April 15th, because typically people view that as the deadline unless they're living overseas, which they get an automatic extension, or unless they request an extension. But if you are one of those ones who you're not planning on filing an extension and you are not residing in overseas in a different area where you have the automatic extension, then you definitely want to consider filing early. Otherwise, you find yourself caught up in the rush. You can get caught up in the rush. Now you're in a position to have a delay that you wouldn't have typically had. And most people, when they file their taxes, they want to get it in a timely manner. Now, when it comes to getting it in a timely manner, this is referring to a person who is getting it direct deposit or just getting it however they choose, because you can't get it on the card, you can't get it on the check. It could be a little delay if you get it on a paycheck, on a paper check, versus getting it direct deposit. It definitely would be, a bit of a delay. But this is not speaking of those who do the cash advance. I'm not a fan of those due to the fact that it charges you interest and you're just getting access to money before the actual money comes. So now you're borrowing against money that you're supposed to receive, and now you put yourself in a predicament because you were rushing to get it. And then when you get the money, of course it goes to whoever you borrowed the money from, but now you realize, wow, the amount I would have got is more than the amount I borrowed. And now you're in you feel a little different, because many people, when they get the advance, they've already spent the money. They've already spent the money very, very quickly because they were so anxious to get that lump sum. Now, I really want you to check out the video where I talked about, listen, don't blow it. Don't blow that money. If you want to, if say you get a $5,000 refund, here's how you spend it in order to build wealth. Check that video out as well, because when it comes to getting a large lump sum, you don't want to put yourself in a position to where you even feel like you have to get a cash advance. So if you can position yourself to not have to need the refund as soon as possible to the point where you get a cash advance, now you position yourself to have that level of cushion and comfort to know that, you know what, I don't need the money this year because I did right by the money last year. And now that money has continued to prosper and grow and turn into some level of wealth. So these are some of the reasons why you may not want to wait to file, because of built-in delays, because of identity theft. This is not a fear-based video, but if you have not filed, consider checking out the link below where you get access to experts every single year. That being said, that's all I got for this video. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.